Hello everyone, thank you for clicking on the video. This is going to be the final installment of the how-to series in WWE 2K23, where I show you how to create today's roster in the universe mode before the release of WWE 2K24. I will not be covering the pay-per-views as I feel they are arbitrary with WWE 2K24 releasing in less than a month. I'm going to be focusing on Raw and Smackdown rosters and excluding NXT since I feel it would take too long to advance in a week playing 5 to 8 matches. At the end of the day, you can set yours up to your liking. This is only a quick guide in case you're missing superstars or feeling overwhelmed with the amount of time it would take to set everything up. With that out of the way, let's get into why you clicked on the video in the first place and start by showing you both the Raw and Smackdown rosters. Now everyone selected here is on the Raw roster except for one superstar, and that is Jade Cargill. If you want to put her on SmackDown, then you can do so. Don't be afraid to pause the video at any point to write down anyone you are missing. If you're wondering where to get a specific custom superstar from the creations, comment down below and I'll tell you what to search or which creator had made them. Now the SmackDown roster definitely has more custom superstars as well as custom attires. You could even see I do have some NXT superstars here, and that is only because I chose specific NXT superstars that I did want to play as, and I just put them on SmackDown. I feel the most difficult part in setting up a universe mode is the roster selection, and once you get past setting up your rosters, setting up the rest of your universe mode is going to be smooth sailings. Now moving on to the tag teams and factions, most of these are already created for you. You will have to add or remove some superstars. Some tag teams and factions you will have to create entirely yourselves, but it shouldn't be an issue once you have the actual superstars there. Now some factions like Damage Control, you will have to remove a couple of members, Asuka and Kairi Sane, and create their tag team separately due to the limitations of the entrances. Now hopefully things like that are fixed in 2K24, but at the same time, if they're not, there's always workarounds with this. Now the video was edited before Damage Control turned on Bayley. What you could do is just remove her from Damage Control and not create a separate tag team. But be careful in doing so, because if you do remove certain superstars from factions, then their custom entrances will then be locked. For instance, if you select Gunther and have one manager Ludwig Kaiser, then that custom entrance will appear, but it only does work with him. Most of the time I skip the entrances only because I've seen them all already and I want to get to the matches quicker. Now before we move on to the title divisions, I do want to emphasize a point here. I was having a big problem when a former tag team would end up as the managers if I disbanded that tag team. So for example, if Butch or Pete Dunne was in a singles match, I never removed Sheamus and Ridge Holland from their managers, so they would appear. And same thing with Santos Escobar. Now that the LWO and LDF rivalry is in full effect on SmackDown, don't forget to change the enemies, allies, and managers. That way, when your matches are automatically simulated and created, you're good to go. Next, we have the title divisions. Now these are fairly easy to set up, only because if you watch Raw and SmackDown every week, it's already there for you. All you have to do is just copy them. Now if you want different title holders, then by all means, it is your universe mode. You might not agree if I have one superstar in, let's say, a World Heavyweight division, but realistically they should be in the Intercontinental. You could switch that up as well. One thing I do make sure to do is I definitely split up the tag team titles. I enjoy the Judgment Day, just having to use them every week to defend their titles does get a little old, though I do know that a lot of people online do enjoy them being unified. I also like to have separate women tag team titles just because I have so many women tag teams. It does help out when playing just because it creates a new element for your universe mode, as well as making sure that you're not playing as the same superstars every show for every week. And this is definitely why I like separating the tag titles either for the men's or women's, just because I have so many tag teams here and I do want to make sure I play as many as possible. And here's a quick reminder of setting up your match table. If you don't want the computer to set up your matches where no one in rivalries or no one in the divisions are facing each other, you have to go and copy these. This will save you so much time. We are approaching the end here, and that is after we set up our match tables, make sure to set up your rivalries. Now this helps with having you to go in to your shows every week and editing your matches. Now I do try to copy the ones based on real life, but I do also like setting up the rivalries that I kind of want to see. So for example, I have Drew McIntyre here. I could put him with Cody Rhodes. I could put him with CM Punk, though I am going to put him with Sethrollins just because I want to see him go for the title. I do like setting up 50-50 on both men and women's, and I also want to make sure that I set up my rivalries to match title defenses, just because I find that to be more entertaining than just regular rivalries, even though I'm going to go against that right here with Becky Lynch and Nia Jax. But I could definitely turn that around and make the winner of that rivalry go on to face Rhea Ripley. Same thing with the tag teams. You always want to have a tag team rivalry if you do enjoy setting up tag team matches. Now that I have my Raw rivalry set up, let's move on to Smackdown. It is going to be the same premise as Raw. If you want to have a specific rivalry that is based off of real life on SmackDown, then you can go ahead. If you want to set yours up to your liking, then go ahead and do that, whatever makes the universe mode fun. And SmackDown is done. Now that we have our match table, our roster, and our rivalry set up, now it is time to go and see how the computer set up our shows. Now if you don't want matches like Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, make sure to go in each individual's allies and switch them up. That way they don't have any matches together. As you can see, we do have the rivalry matches we want. That is a division match, which is why it is important to set up our divisions. Same thing with this one with Rhea and Raquel. Another rivalry match. That's one less match we have to go and edit ourselves. This looks like a very good card, and I don't have to go in and edit any matches. Now because we set up our SmackDown divisions and match tables similar to Raw, we can go ahead and assume that they are going to be okay for the weekly shows. Thank you for watching. I hope this video helps. We are less than 1 month away from WWE 2K24, and I'm very excited for this game, so I set up this universe just to keep that hype going until March hits. I want to make as many videos as possible with the next game, so if you aren't subbed, subscribe, and definitely hit this like button. That way my videos get put into the algorithm, and you get as much use out of WWE 2K24 as possible.